Hello my fellow readers! Today I'm going to be talking about another manga series that I absolutely loved and you don't see too many people talk about. For a little while a few people talked about, but in general you don't see many people talk about, and that is number 6. And number 6, the story is by Atsuko Asano and the art was by Hinoki Kino. There was an anime version. I can't remember what came first. I think it was an anime adaptation. I think the manga was first. I could be wrong. That came out, and the anime is really good too, so I would recommend both. I actually kind of like the manga a bit more just because I think the story was fuller. But so right off the bat, I will say that this is a dystopian work, and when the story starts off, you have the main character Xian, who is living in what would seem to be a utopian society of a city, and the city is number 6. And Xian himself is like an elite student. He's like toward the top of his class, and he's been recommended for this special program, and he's really looking forward to beginning it and being like a productive, high representative of his society. But one night during a really, really bad storm, which I don't even remember how the storms were done because I'm like, wasn't it like, anyway, there's a bad storm and a boy sneaks into Xian's apartment because Xian had like opened the window. I don't remember why, but he wanted to like feel the air and the storm. So he opens his window and in sneaks a rat. Quite literally. The young boy is called Rat and he's been injured, so he asks Xian for help, and Xian tends to his wounds and hides Rat there, and the two of them talk, and Xian gets the first hints that something might be wrong with the society that he's living in. And I think it's the next day, Rat is gone, and Xian is left with these questions and this doubt about his society. And I think we do a little bit of a flash forward, and Xian is monitoring this, I don't know, park. He's doing monitoring. That's all I know. He's doing some monitoring, and so he's doing some monitoring, and they discover a dead body. And the body looks like all aged and decrepit, and rigor mortis has already set in, and they have to contact the upper security to, remove the body, find out what happened, whatever. And next we find out through Xian's interacting with his friend from school, a female friend from school, that he never entered the elite program that he was originally awarded. And she's trying to find out why. Why didn't he do that? We pretty much know as the reader that he probably didn't do it because of his conversations with Rat and not believing wholeheartedly in the perfection of this society. And then some other stuff happens, including when Xian goes back to work. That is his coworker, who he's like literally just talking to, suddenly starts not feeling well, and literally starts like aging and becoming decrepit, like right before Xian's eye. Is like, he's like, oh, I feel dizzy, and then suddenly it's like whoosh, all badness. And then in like moments he's dead, and this like bug comes out of his body. That sounds so weird, but it is weird, and it's like, what is happening? What is going on? And because of what Xian saw, soon there's like officials that come in and are trying to silence Xian, and they're gonna take him away, remove him from the situation, and yeah, that does mean what we all think it means. Like they're gonna try to get rid of him. But of course, before that happens, Xian is rescued by Rat. And I love that name. Nozomi. So he's rescued by Rat, and the two of them flee from number 6. I think they actually leave the city. But anyway, the two of them flee that situation and go into hiding. And of course, as with most dystopians, the series is quite similar. The two of them flee. We do meet with other people. There is the decision that they have to stop what's going on in the city. They have to reveal the truth about number 6 and overthrow the ruling of it. You know, it's basic dystopian. If you like dystopians, number 6 is a dystopian. So I think for a lot of people, what made number 6 stand out is the relationship between Xian and Rat, because this is not classified as a Shonen Ai or BL series. I believe this is just Shonen, but Xian and Rat obviously form a very serious bond and do love each other. And so there is a romantic atmosphere with it, but it's not the main focus. So again, it's not Shonen Ai or BL. It is just there. It just exists. And unfolds so naturally that I think a lot of people loved how that was presented. That there wasn't any like issues about it or big thought about it. It was just two characters that like each other and acknowledge that there is this bond or this love. This one was brought up a lot during the time of Yuri on Ice, because that series was receiving so much fame, and then the kiss scene, which, you know, you couldn't be seen. People were like, oh, but this is for this time slot, it's amazing. And then people were like, well, number 6 did it first. I think they're both good series, so I'm not here to debate that. I liked just the simple representation. I thought was good. I think it's been said by people that it's nice when stories don't have to be all about pain or recognizing, like, recognize, I don't know if that's the right word, but it doesn't have to be like all about the painful aspects. That sometimes it's nice to have a story of just existing. And so that was the main argument for why people like Yuri on Ice and why they like number 6, is the characters just were. There wasn't, you know, all of the outside taboo and issue there. Because that wasn't the main story, it just was. So if you like that kind of story, or you're looking for that story where the characters just are, and whomever they fall for, this is a good example of that. There is more that gets into the story with his female friend who was in love with Xian, and there is more to her story, and it's good and powerful. And I don't want to get too into that. But yeah, as a dystopian, you're going to meet more characters and some bad stuff's going to happen. I think it wrapped up in like 6 to 8 volumes. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it's a pretty quick series. Very emotional. A lot of stuff happens. But overall good. And I think that if you like dystopians, this is a good series to pick up. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me more of, like, as a dystopian society. I mean, obviously you go with like the Hunger Games, but nobody's like being dragged into a game. I don't know. It's just classic like dystopian vibes. And it stands alone as its own story as well. It's not like it mimics anything specifically. It's just, you know, dystopian. Yeah. So I would highly recommend number 6. That is it for this video. Until next time. Bye.